Today on Land Beat, we're going to be talking about low value timber lots and what to do moving forward. So Brady and I are out today assessing a property, and this property historically had several different land uses, but one has been very clear is that there was some form of livestock. In this case, very strange, you don't run into it every day, but it was actually buffalo. And you can see the abuse and the overgrazing that happened in the woodlots. So a lot of times you can see that there's boundary fences, but there's these little 20-acre, 30-acre woodlots, or sometimes even bigger than that, where the livestock were able to come through. And this has really caused a major issue with the regeneration, especially oak regeneration, which we're in a part of the world where we're going to see a lot of oak woodlands, savannas, but if there are trees, it's going to be predominantly oak in the upland sites. And in this case, we have not a whole lot of oak dominance. We're seeing, what species are we seeing here, Brady?
Seeing a lot of hickory, a lot of honey locust, a lot of elm, hackberry in this understory, and mostly in the overstory as well.
And some black walnut.
Yep, some black walnut mixed
in. And when
you
look in and it's like, okay, there's the overstory, the midstory kind of follows, and the understory is pretty well dominated by buckbrush or coral area, some people call it, which is a very pretty telling indication of the overgrazing. And I deal with a lot on my farm in areas where the cattle, as I was a young boy, were able to go in the woods. So what do you do in this situation? You don't have a great overstory, you don't have a great understory. It's really going, okay, well, the primary goals, when you look around, we can rule out a major timber harvest to make income. There's few oaks, and we're all probably going to cringe over the fact of cutting those for income, which would be low amount of dollars, and remove the one or two trees that might produce acorns in here. So we would recommend a very aggressive timber stand improvement project. Even though there is no timber, some people would be like, why aren't you saying FSI? Yeah. I'm saying, well, because half the people don't know that term. So we're using timber stand improvement techniques to try to open the canopy, stimulate new growth, and then burn some more. Real timely burns too. With this coral berry, it greens up quicker than a lot of the natives. And so if we can get a burn later into the dormant season, let's say late March, early to mid-April, we still have plenty of sun coming through the canopy or coming through the trees because they haven't leafed out yet, and the coral berry is leafed out, and so we can really set it back, giving the natives a chance to flourish for that year. And if we can continue this course, as well as opening the canopy more and more and getting more sunlight, we can try to revert back to having a more diverse understory with herbaceous plants and set the coral berry back. And that's kind of one of our primary focuses here, is looking at a dominating weed tree component. There's not a whole lot of great crop trees, so we're going to be identifying the very low quality, undesirable species, killing them, identify areas for bedding cuts in thicker areas, and then burn the whole thing on a 2 to 3 year cycle.
So we see this often in this part of the world. Cattle is a huge income-driven farming technique in southwest Missouri. So we often see overgrazing in our timber and very little value within the timber. So we use techniques as TSI, timber stand improvement, to come in, get the cattle out of here, and come in and really manage this timber unit for wildlife in mind, to benefit the amount of forage on the landscape, on the forest floor, get sunlight in here, and the benefit for forbs, forbs, browse for deer and turkey, all in these units.
And if possible, even some oak regeneration.
Absolutely.
Kind of accepting the fact that we might not see a timber harvest here, but generations from now, we can, with the work we do today and over the next few years, revert that, get it back to more of an oak-dominated forest.
Absolutely.